Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this one, we're going to keep working with the Azure CLI commands. In the first one, I showed you how to log in. In this one, I'm going to show you one more time, and there are multiple ways to log in. If you don't want to use go to your command window to open up a web browser, you can just pass your username. So azlabs9000 outlook.com, and if you hit enter, it's going to ask your password. I forgot the password, hopefully I did not, and there we go. So now I provided the password, and now it's showing that I have 3 different subscriptions. So one thing just to keep a note, one of the subscription is actually a default subscription. So when you work with this command window, all of your resources will be deployed to the default. Here is this default true. So this is the subscription IT prod where my resources will be deployed. So say I want to create some virtual machine, but I need to know the size of virtual machines available to me. So I can use this get VM image list output command. So let's just come over here and just try this one out. So if you think the command that we just ran, it is azvm image list. So it's just going to give me list of a whole bunch of images that are available, and with publisher version, SKU, URL, a lot of different stuff it's providing to us. Okay, now what very easy if I want to create a Linux. So let's before anything that you create within Azure, you need to create a resource group. So let's just do this one first. So let's just come back here and do clear and paste. So this is doing AZ resource group, and my resource group is the name of the resource group. Okay, and the location is eastus. So this command is now successful. It's created the resource group ID and is deployed in the eastus, and you have the name is the myResourceGroup, and the provisioning state is succeeded. So this is something you can keep an eye on it, and make sure that anytime you are running your commands, you are getting this state as successful. And so once that's out of the way, I know that I have the resource group available to me. I can copy any of this command over here and paste it. So this is gonna deploy this to the my resource group, and notice that this my in Azure your resource group names there, although they are case sensitives here, but in reality when you're deploying, it doesn't care whether you have a camel case or not. Okay, as long as your name matches, so you should be able to launch this particular resource. So what we just did, it's a very simple command again, az for Azure, VM for virtual machine, create for create. We provided the name of the resource group, and we said yeah, go ahead and use that one, and we provided the name of the virtual machine as myVM, and we said hey yeah, for image just go get the Ubuntu LTS, the latest Ubuntu lights, just go get that one. Okay, and it says my everything is running. So let's just create Windows VM as well. So if I copy this one, it's gonna deploy a Windows VM, Windows data center. So let's just copy this one, and I'm gonna put it in the same resource group, and then we'll investigate from the portal what's going on. So this one you need to provide admin username. So let's just do something. Admin password, I'm going to confirm the admin password, and it should deploy Windows data center virtual machine for me. Think about how powerful you are. Just you are not even in the portal, you just have a connection, and you are creating like resources from here. So that's just amazing. So let's just go to the portal, and let's go to the resource group. There should be one my resource group created, so refresh. So my resource group, and notice that it's deployed under the my prod subscription, because that's I have made that as a default. So if I go in here, I should be able to see the Linux machine that's already deployed, so the myVM, Okay, that's already deployed, and associated resources are already deployed with it. And the other one, the Windows one, is under deployment at the moment. So let's come back over and see what is going on in this one. What is so this might create a problem, because we said our VM name is exactly the same here. The other thing, it says some kind of problem. It says deployment field, code listen ID this, code this, message changing property, image reference is not allowed, target image reference. So let's just try to fix this one and see what's going on with this. Alright, I'm going to make a couple changes here. Here AZVM create stays the same, resource group still stays the same, my resource group still stays the same. myVM, I'm going to change this. Okay, so that one I'm going to change to have a different name. So myVM, let's say win. And image, although it looks like image reference is not allowed, I feel like image reference is actually okay. Image win 2016 Internet Center is fine. The another thing that I would do here, admin username, I'm going to provide admin username, so it will not be admin but something else. So let's try this one out and see if this one is allowed. So let's try. And see if this deployment is gonna be successful or not. If not, then we'll just try one last command, and we'll go from there. So what we have done, we are getting familiar with the type of commands, and if you look the general structure, AZVM create. So if you think about, if I want to delete something, what would you run? It would be AZVM delete. So create Windows. So pretty much if Linux and Windows, you see the most of the command is really the same, right? This command and that command, the only thing that is different is the image, what kind of image you are providing. Create resource group, again AZ group create, and you just provide the resource group, and you have to provide the location. Okay. Storage account, again the same story, AZ storage account create. Now this time we are providing small. G means instead of resource group like this big, you can provide G instead. So you could have done this over here as well. And in is a short for name. So you're going to provide the resource group name and the name of the storage account, the location, and you can also provide the SKU. That this is not required, but if you provide, it will pick up the SKU that you want. Okay, so let's just go back. And this time look at that, it's now successful. So let's just try this one and create a storage account as well before we move to the next. Okay, so this one, yeah, so that name has already taken, so your name has to be unique. So just add some random values here and hit enter. As your account must have less than 24. Okay, so this is now huge. Let's just see if that works. Although I didn't think that it was more than 24, but maybe. Okay, so we got we have now learned how to log in to Azure, how to create a virtual machine, how to create a resource group, how to create a storage account. And if you look through the other types of command, they should look very similar. Okay, so we're gonna learn about permanently deleting a resource group, but let's do a couple more commands over here. Okay, so we're gonna, first of all, we're gonna list our virtual machine. So now we know that we already have two virtual machine that we have created. So if I do AZVM list, I'm expecting to see two different virtual machines in here. Okay, so let's see. So these outputs are a little long sometimes, and there are ways how to make it smaller, and I'll teach you that one as well. Okay, so this command that we ran, AZVM list, it gave us all the VM, right? But it so much of data, so it's very hard to do. So you need to learn a little bit about how to query and get what you need. So what I'll do, I'll even edit over here and put something. Let's come back over here. We got the Linux VM and then manage VM here. What I'll do, I'll teach you a little bit of how to get a better output. Okay, so let's just copy this one, and the way you get your a concise output is to use something called a query parameter. So you pass the query. If you need array, if you have to go over multiple resources, you pretty much use and get an array. And what do you need? Look, I'm interested in the name of the virtual machine. So if you go over here, you will see there is one file, one parameter that is going to be the name, and the main name is what I'm looking for. So if you go like somewhere, it's here. Yeah, there's the name. Okay, so no, that is not even the name. So there are so many names, but you have the primary name is what I'm looking for. Just go over to the very top. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very hard to read from this output and figure out, okay buddy, what is going on. So but I still want to show you the name that I'm talking about. So I'll still keep hunting and come back over. Gee, it seems like it will never end. Okay, let's just start. Okay, name. So we found one name, right? So this is the name. So what you need to do, you need to provide a resource group, and on the resource group, if you have multiple VMs, is going to list the name of the VMs. And now look at the command. So AZVM list dash gist for the resource group, and I'm saying hey query and get the name and output as JSON. Now if I hit enter and look at that, so now I got one VM and another VM. So if you want to add another property in here, okay, with this, so you can provide and pass another property, and they will give two of them instead of thousands. Okay, and that's how it works. So what I'll do, I'll copy this command and just put it over here just as a reference point. So and then I'm just going to comment this code as well. Alright, so that's now out of the way. So where we are, so we looked at listing. So now our VMs are actually now all should be running. So if I go to my home and say VM virtual machines, and let's see what we have. Well, looks like I have a whole bunch of virtual machines, but there are 3 of them looks like they are running. 2 of them are in the myResourceGroup, right? So if I want to stop one of the virtual machines from running, so what command do I need to run? So if I come back over here, our cheat sheet, where is the cheat sheet? The cheat sheet is over here. So what we'll do, we are going to stop the VM. So AZVM stop resource group and name myVM. So let's just stop that one. So again over here, I'm gonna paste this command and hit enter, and it's now about to part of the virtual specified machine. It will continue to be billed. So you need to remember, if you want to stop the billing, then you have to de-allocate, and it's also giving you the command that you need. So if I come back over here, refresh. Okay, so which is the VM, myVM that is inside the myResourceGroup, this one should be stopped momentarily. So let's see what's going on. It's still running. Just give it, now it seems like it's done. So I'm going to refresh my window over here, and look at that, it's now stopped. Now but you should be de-allocating. So to de-allocate, I'll run the same command. Instead of saying stop, I'm gonna say AZVM de-allocate. So come back over here, paste and hit enter, and de-allocate will stop the billing, but if you just stop, it is still going to be billed. Okay, so just remember that. So once that is done, what we are doing, we are now de-allocating, and to restart, so again, so if it's now de-allocated, so if I want to start that machine, we can we could use that one as well. So let's see what so there are some that are stopped and de-allocated, so we could use one of these to test out our commands as well. Just give it a minute, and it should be de-allocated. So over here, let me see what are the commands that I wanted to go over. So restart, very similar, that start, stop, de-allocate. So once you learn one command, pretty much you know how to use the other command. And if you want to delete the virtual machine, again, it's very simple, azvm delete, and provide the resource group name and the name of the virtual machine. If you want to take an image of the virtual machine and then save and use that image to create other virtual machines, simple run as the image create, provide your resource group name, and source would be your virtual machines, and name your image, and you have a virtual image. So then you can also do list virtual machine extensions if you have any, so that command will give you the extensions that you have. You can also be able to delete the virtual machine extensions. Now I'll let you play with some of the commands yourself. One thing that I want to do is permanently delete a resource group name. So you can do this from portal, but it's very useful to be able to do it from the command line as well, just so that the process goes pretty fast. So let's just come over here. So that machine should now say de-allocated. If I refresh, now you see that it says de-allocated. So let's now just try to delete this particular resource group and see if I can do it from here. Now it's asking, are you sure? Let's say yes, and now it's running. So once this is done, my particular resource group, which is the myResourceGroup, should be completely deleted. I should actually delete the other resource group in here as well. Actually first just delete this virtual machine. I don't even need this one. I don't want to pay for the virtual machines and incur costs, right? Neither do you. So there we go. So in this video we looked at a whole bunch of things. Primarily we learned how to create and play with the virtual machines. I told you a little bit about how to query, and instead of getting a whole bunch of JSON output, how you can use the query to filter out and look for specific items. So definitely play with that. We learned how to create even storage account, resource group, and then how to start and stop and de-allocate virtual machines. And other things that you should try is restart or start a virtual machine if it's stopped or de-allocated. And at the end we have learned how to delete a resource group from the command line. So let's just come back over here. It may take a little bit of time based on how many resources you have. So I am not gonna wait till the end. So I'm just gonna assume that Azure is gonna do what it is supposed to do and delete the resource group and everything inside that particular resource group. So keep working with these AZ commands and have fun. So these are really powerful commands, and will make you the next level person in your skills than someone who is only using the portal to deploy stuff. Happy learning. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.